Hello everyone, welcome back to Sports Kabri. Curious Harry and Arun Foot. With me now I'm Hiren and we're here to talk about East Bengal versus Chennai. Not the usual thrillers that we've been having of late. It was sort of, I would say, yeah, Hiren's making the point. He's showing the thumbs down sign. I think that pretty much says the story. Um, we didn't see too many clear cut chances. It wasn't exciting. It wasn't end to end or any of those stuff. In the end, it was a deflected goal that won the game for East Bengal. Chennai, I don't remember them creating too many great chances. Even after going a goal down, it just didn't seem like it was a side that really wanted to push for the draw. So disappointing. And yeah, Irene, coming to you straight away. What do you make of this game?
फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल हेलो टू एवरीवन आई थिंक मतलब कुछ बात करने जैसा इन सेंस कि उस टर्म्स में नहीं है कि जहाँ पे मतलब जैसे आपने बोला कि कोई ऐसा गेम प्ले बना हो या फिर कोई ऐसे मोमेंट हुए हो कि जिससे मतलब लगे कि नहीं मजा आ रहा है आई थिंक इट वाज रियली मतलब आई रियली डिसअपॉइंटेड विद द बोथ द टीम्स अप्रोच टू बी ऑनेस्ट नॉट ओनली फ्रॉम द चेन्नई एफसी बट आई थिंक ईस्ट बंगाल का भी मतलब फर्स्ट हाफ में तो आई थिंक रियली इट जस्ट मतलब क्या बोलते कि बॉल इधर उधर जा रहा है कोई कोई जीत रहा है चांस बन जाए बस ऐसे ही चल देयर वाज ए नो यू कैन से कि क्लियर प्लान जो मेरे को मतलब दिखा इन अ सेंस या फिर अगर प्लान था तो उसको एग्जीक्यूट नहीं कर पा रहे थे मे बी बट ओवरऑल वेरी यू कैन से कि एवरेज बोरिंग गेम यस सरद हनीफ भाई बिल्कुल बिल्कुल एंड मतलब पर्टिकुलरली पिछले कुछ दिनों में जिस तरह से मैचेस हुए हैं एंड जिस तरह से इस सीजन मोस्ट ऑफ द मैचेस हुए हैं उस सेंस में आई थिंक दिस इज अ बिलो एवरेज गेम एंड East Bengal were lucky with that Nanda Kumar Sikar's shot and shot deflected with the goal. So that's a crucial 3 point for them. And I think Chennai FC now, I think जैसे हमने लास्ट टाइम भी जब मुंबई सिटी के सामने मारे तब राहुल हमने बात की थी कि चेन्नई एफसी वो कन्विंसिंगली लग नहीं रही चाहे भले ही मैथमेटिकली दे कैन स्टिल फाइट फॉर दैट टॉप सिक्स प्लेस but I don't think so कि they can produce that 3 4 5 matches winning streak. So I think for me they are out of the position race. Mathematically still they can challenge, but I don't see. I think they might win out of these last 6 matches, one or two, but I don't see they are winning a 3 4 match back to back. For East Bengal, I think that's a crucial win, but still, I think using your 4 to 5 forward player and still you are not able to creating those much chances. So I think problem is there, and अगर उनको सिक्स पोजीशन की रेस में जाना है then you need to play better to be honest. I think this is the not the way I don't see कि they can go into the sixth position because I think challenges are much tougher and एक आध मैच आप ऐसे निकाल सकते हो but to consistently perform and produce a result I don't think so. So for Carlos Kudrat also there is a worry but overall it's a very boring game.
Yeah, Ganesh Singh Nanda should be in the Indian squad. We'll get to East Bengal. No, let's just quickly finish off Chennai first, because it's worrying from an attacking perspective that they don't really carry a threat. To me at least, it seemed like apart from Nintoy, who can sort of take on the fullback and put in a cross, there's nothing there. And even your big guys like Rafael Crivellaro, who is supposed to be your sort of the main guys, two poor corners. I don't know what he was trying to do. I'm never surprised by Chennai's attacking output.
It was a weird one, and Sharhad is saying it to leave Rafael Crivellaro out, for example, and try to utilize sort of a combination of Connor Shields, Farooq Chaudhary, Rahim Ali, and Jordan Murray. Yeah, looked a little, I don't know.
Disjointed.
It didn't have the squad doesn't have the depth that normally an Owen Coyle squad has, and I think that it was very evident when a few weeks ago Owen Coyle said, you know what, we had certain targets, we wanted to bring in certain players, but we couldn't sign them. So we
Yeah. Sorry.
Sorry. Yeah. So I was just saying that, Owen Coyle said that, that he was trying to do it with the squad that he has available to him. And that to me was a little bit of a surprise, I felt, because this team was lacking something. Yeah, but you saw also the other night, a few few days ago when they were playing Kerala Blasters, who were at the time in crisis, that at home they actually got a result. So this league is a very weird one, because if you look at the first, especially the first 45, Chennai was actually the better of the two teams. And the build-up up to a certain area was good, while East Bengal, to me, again, under Quadrat, ultra defensive. So, it's one of those games, and they took their chances today. But again, yes, it's a snail's race to some extent in regard to that top 6 finish. But it's a big 3 points for East Bengal, because they're in the mix of it. That's for them. They have it. And again, and Chennaiyin, I don't know. Chennaiyin is there's something lacking. And then at the end, you saw Connor Shields and Devjit sort of arguing with each other for, I don't know what, if he was, if they were not going long or whatever. Yeah, it was Chennaiyin were not good enough, or are not good enough this season.
Yeah, I completely
one point, Rahul, one point I want to add in that, जो सर ने बात बोली कि बिल्डअप वो कर पा रहे थे, लेकिन जो फाइनल थर्ड और जो जोन 14 का एरिया, वहां पे आके वो कंफ्यूज हो जा रहे थे कि करना क्या है. और आई थिंक प्लेयरों की पोजीशनिंग वहां पे आके आई थिंक वो हो जा रही थी. एंड आई थिंक दैट्स वेयर द इशू इज कि मतलब इतने सारे फॉरवर्ड प्लेयर खिलाने के बावजूद भी आप दे आर एंड ये सारे ऐसे प्लेयर की इस पूरे सीजन में खेले हैं एक साथ, ऐसा नहीं है कि नहीं खेले हैं. एंड आई थिंक फिर भी वो एक कॉम्बिनेशन नहीं बिठा पा रहे, और अंडरस्टैंडिंग वो क्लियरली वहां पे विजिबल नहीं थी. और फाइनल थर्ड में जाके मतलब इधर पास कर देना, मिस पास कर देना, बॉल लूज कर देना, एंड दैट काइंड ऑफ थिंग ज्यादा यहाँ पे चेन्नई एफसी की ओर से देखने को मिलती है.
Yeah, I think what you guys are also sort of pointing towards is general tactical play. I think something that can be worked upon. But one thing that I really noticed in this Chennai side, apart from the stamina part, which is they were gassed. They were seriously gassed for the last 10 minutes. They didn't put enough pressure on East Bengal. Any team that's down a goal is really sort of upping the tempo at that point. They didn't. But apart from that,
Rahul, no pressure. What pressure?
Yeah,
no pressure.
Exactly. And on top of that, there were points even like halfway through the second half, Rahim Ali walking, throwing, it's close to him and he's just watching it go by him. I mean, these are, I think,
non-negotiable.
That's got nothing to do with your ability, technique, whatever. It's just commitment. When you see that commitment lacking, I don't know how a side can come and win games. I don't know why you guys think like there's a lack of commitment itself from this Chennai side.
I don't know, because you've got Owen Coyle on the sides, and you could hear Owen Coyle for the 90 minutes, right? So Owen Coyle, 90 plus minutes, Owen Coyle gave everything pitch side, right? So I felt that the coach had more commitment to some extent than his players.
Yeah, for sure.
Or again, then the question needs to be asked of the coach: is his team fit or not, right? And that's the so there are a lot of questions that can be asked about this Owen Coyle side, because we've seen Owen Coyle with Chennai in the past, with Jamshedpur as well. He has built out of nowhere quality teams. And this season, for whatever reason, things are not clicking. Yesterday, good example, again, also with Goa and with Kerala Blasters. Something happened and the Blasters were back and Goa literally disintegrated. So these are small margins, because if Chennai score in the first half, it's over for East Bengal. East Bengal score, it looks like it's over for Chennai. So these margins are very, very slim at the moment, and you see the pressure on the teams, and also, a lot of games, and again, that's the other thing. I think with certain teams, you see that they've been playing a lot of football in the last few weeks.
एक चीज जो राहुल तुम बोली उसके बारे में, इंटेंट तो डेफिनेटली कम था ही था प्लेयरों में, बट एक चीज से मैं ये सरप्राइज हूँ कि ओएन कोयल की जिस तरह से ट्रैक रिकॉर्ड रही है आईएसएल में जमशेदपुर और चेन्नई के साथ पास्ट में, इस बार भी अगर आप देखें तो प्लेयर मेरे हिसाब से उनके पास पूरे नहीं है. अगर इंडियन प्लेयर भी देखे तो बाकी मतलब काफी सारी ऐसी टीम है कि जिससे इंडियन प्लेयरों की क्वालिटी उनके पास बेटर है या फिर प्रोमिसिंग प्लेयर है. अगर आप आयुष अधिकारी की बात करें, जितेश्वर सिंह की बात करें, आप विकास युमनाम की बात करें, आप आकाश सांगवान की बात करें, दिस आर दी प्लेयर्स की जो यहाँ पे अपकमिंग प्लेयर है और अच्छा करके आ रहे हैं, ऐसा नहीं है कि बिल्कुल वो मतलब एकदम वो प्लेयर है। एंड
No,
सॉरी,
Hiren, you said one very important thing. Upcoming player. This team has one problem that it, especially amongst the Indians, it lacks the quality experience. That is what I feel.
एक्सपीरियंस,
Sorry,
हाँ।
I didn't want to stop you. Sorry.
नहीं नहीं नहीं, हाँ, ये बात बिल्कुल आपकी सही है, बट मैं उसमें भी मेरा पॉइंट सर ये है कि अगर ये यंगस्टर भी देखे तो बाकी जो जिस टीम के पास, कुछ टीमों के पास ऐसे यंगस्टर है कि जो इससे मतलब कम कम वो अभी अभी वो लग रहे हैं कि भाई पोटेंशियल वाइज, इनके पास पोटेंशियल वाइज आयुष अधिकारी अगर लास्ट सीजन देखे आप, केरला ब्लास्टर में थे, चित्तेश्वर इस प्रोमिसिंग है, आपके विकास उमनाम नेशनल टीम के सेटअप में मतलब उसका अंडर 23 में नाम चल रहा है, फिर आपके आकाश सांगवान, और ये सारे प्लेयर ऐसे हैं कि जो मतलब इन अ सेंस कि एस्टैब्लिश है, अपकमिंग है, बट एक वो है कि हाँ भाई ये आगे जाके कर सकते हैं। तो उसके साथ और आपने जो मतलब फॉरेनर्स भी साइन किए, आई थिंक वो एक कॉम्बिनेशन मेरे को लगता है कि इस सीजन कहीं ना कहीं दिखाई नहीं, अगर आप बटेचो की बात करें, मतलब आप देखिए कि उसका क्या रोल है और किस तरह की उनकी परफॉर्मेंस रही है, मतलब आई डोंट रिमेम्बर अ सिंगल मैच की जहां पे उसने स्टैंड आउट परफॉर्मेंस दी हो। सो आई थिंक बैकलाइन में मैं बोलूंगा कि आई थिंक जो रेन एडवर्ड्स की साइनिंग है वो मेरे को लगता है कि उसने अभी तक इंडिविजुअली आई थिंक बेहतर परफॉर्मेंस दी। अदर देन दैट आई थिंक फॉरेन साइनिंग्स में भी उस तरह की यहाँ पे क्या बोलते हैं परफॉर्मेंस नहीं आई है। सो इट्स अ मिक्स ऑफ एवरीथिंग। इंडियन प्लेयर्स भी आपने आपके स्टेप अप नहीं कर रहे और आपके जो फॉरेन प्लेयर्स है उसमें भी नहीं स्टेप अप कर रहे हैं। इवेंचुअली चाहे फिर ओएन कोएलो या फिर कोई भी मैनेजर हो, फिर ज्यादा फिर आप कुछ कर नहीं सकते, क्योंकि अगर आपके प्लेयरों की परफॉर्मेंस ही नहीं आ रही है, सर टेक्निकली कितना भी आप सेटअप कर लो, कुछ भी कर लो, यू विल नॉट गेट अ रिजल्ट। सो इवेंचुअली क्योंकि प्लेयर को एग्जीक्यूट करना है, सो आई थिंक दैट्स दी वन ऑफ द इश्यू आल्सो।
Yep.
I think
And
Rahul, just to add to what Hiren said, the club has invested into potential, be it foreigners, be it Indians. But the problem is that can you turn that potential into performances? That is at the moment the problem of Chennaiyin FC. That the potential of all these players mentioned, that they needed to step up to take this club to the next level, and they've not been able to. And especially the foreigners haven't. I mean, Jordan Murray is a proven striker, right? I mean, I remember the game in Kochi where where they drew the Blasters, and the Blasters were flying at the time. That was a very good performance, most probably one of the best from Chennai in this season. But this today was like, we're trying, we're hoping something will happen. Okay, the opponent is also not that properly there, and then you fall behind, and then like, okay, how can we turn this thing around? There was something missing. Again, Ryan Edwards, yes, surely one of the best centre backs in this league, but the rest, yeah, I mean, Rafael Crivellaro on his day is one of the best ISL foreigners, but again, those days are far and few. He's getting old. That's the reality. Connor Shields is trying, but it's not clicking. Jordan Murray, again, on and off. And if we're talking about Rahim Ali, Farooq Chaudhary, Vinci Barreto, all these guys, right? We're talking about talent, but at some stage you have to have consistent performances. That is what I feel is missing in this Chennaiyin. Again, potential, yes, and this is a lot. Even Akash Sangwan, last season people were talking about him potentially playing for the national team. He was the standout left back last season, right? So then the consistency factor comes in, and that is what is sort of killing, I think, at the moment, Chennaiyin FC's potential progress into being a more consistent performer and a potential top 6 team.
yep, worrying definitely for Chennai. And another thing that I thought I think should be mentioned is Devjit Majumdar's kicking. I think he's got a problem. I don't know if there's enough work going in or not, but I don't
It's
think he's
always
got the
been a
knack.
problem, Rahul. It's been a problem since his Mohun Bagan days. I mean, since he was playing there, or even at 80K when he was playing, that is something which that he's a brilliant shot stopper. He's good on the
Yeah.
line, but if you ask him to to do something off the line and on, it's like the other day's anticipation from that Bipin Singh shot. He couldn't anticipate that Bipin Singh could actually shoot from there. He was left stranded. So. It's again a team of a lot of potential, but a lot of things would have had to click for Chennai to be really a top 6 contender. Again, they've got a lot of home games still. They could worry teams at home most probably, but it's going to be difficult. I don't see them now really being, even though, again, I said it, this league is still so crazy, we shouldn't count them out, but I think it's going to get tougher with the number of points that they have.
Yep, completely agree. I think for me it was just not happening for Chennai. I think just going forward wasn't happening for them, and yeah, it's still not happening for them. So yeah, Hiren, coming to East Bengal, of course, big 3 points for them, although not the best of performances. They're up to eighth now, 18 points, level on points with BFC. They're one behind Northeast and two behind Jamshedpur. So yeah, where do they go from here, Hiren?
I think now it will be interesting today. I think in second half after that you can see half time substitution, particularly पीवी विष्णु एंड उन्होंने जब सेकंड हाफ में आए तो थोड़ा सा यहाँ पे चेंज लगी कंपेयर टू फर्स्ट हाफ, जैसे बोला सबने कि फर्स्ट हाफ में चेन्नई वाज लिटिल बिट मच बेटर, बट सेकंड हाफ में आई थिंक ईस्ट बंगाल थोड़ा सा उन्होंने बेटर किया अपने फर्स्ट हाफ के परफॉर्मेंस से, बट स्टिल आई वुड से दे देखिए प्लेयर उनके पास सब कुछ है, बट आई थिंक टेक्निकली आई थिंक जो कार्लोस कुदरत की जो है आई थिंक वो कहीं ना कहीं मेरे को लगता है कि जो प्लेयर का फुल पोटेंशियल या फिर वो है आई थिंक वो मतलब उस तरह से गेम प्ले में आ रहा है, एंड आई थिंक दैट इज द वन इशू। आई थिंक जो ईस्ट बंगाल के साथ चीज ये है कि अगर प्लेऑफ में ये क्वालिफाई कर जाते हैं देन आई थिंक दे कैन बीट एनीवन, बट प्लेऑफ में क्वालिफाई करने के लिए आपको एक कंसिस्टेंट रन चाहिए। आप में अभी भी 6 मैच बचे, दैट्स अ क्वाइट नंबर ऑफ मैचेस, ऐसा नहीं कि 2-3 मैचेस ही बचे आपको और आप टूर्नामेंट की तरफ निकाल लोगे, स्टिल देयर इज अ 6 to 7 मैचेस लेफ्ट एंड उसमें भी आपको टॉप टीमों के सामने भी खेलना पड़ेगा। सो वहां पे क्या बोलते हैं कि यू नीड अ कंसिस्टेंसी, एंड इस तरह की डिफेंसिव अप्रोच के साथ आई डोंट सी कि यू विल गेट अ always a 3 point, maybe you will get a draw, but I think always to get a 3 points is very difficult thing, particularly against a top side. So that was we witnessed against Mumbai City when they go for ultra defensive, they score a one goal and you are out of the race. Last match also they sit back with the one you can say one goal, and then क्या बोलते हैं कि Jamshedpur come up with the two goals. So this kind of things will happen, and I think the Carlos Cuadra needs to find that solution. I League के बारे में बात करेंगे comment section में बोल रहे हैं, why didn't Mohan Bagan had that intent to win the match on 24th? I think they उसके बारे में हमने बात की थी भाई, they have a tactical I think proper Anthony Haba style कि जहाँ पे उन्होंने डिफेंसिवली अपना स्ट्रक्चर मेंटेन किया था।
Rahul, you're on mute.
Sorry, I was just saying East Bengal have Odisha up next. It's not easy, and I don't think today's performance
ओडिशा
is pretty.
केरला ब्लास्टर भी है उसके लिए।
Yeah, so two big games, and I don't think today's performance is pretty.
And
Anyone with any.
then's the derby are also coming up, right? So
Derby,
today, of course, the big news is that the TMC supposedly on the derby day is supposed to hold a rally. So there is a security issue now in Kolkata. So let's see how they sort that one out. So that's again, an added flavor. On the game day in the morning, it's supposed to be that
क्यों रैली क्यों निकालना चाहते हो?
I don't know. I didn't check that, to be honest.
कोई बोल रहा था कि शायद वेन्यू भी चेंज करते, but I don't think so कि वेन्यू तो चेंज करें.
It doesn't make sense because the Bengali media was reporting today that Mohan Bagan at the Salt Lake Stadium made a net profit of 1.3 crores from the last derby. And for an ISL team, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. So therefore, I don't see East Bengal saying, you know what, we will play somewhere else. I think, either you'll prepone it, postpone it, whatever, you'll do it by a day here or there, but they'll play it in Kolkata. It makes no sense. Kolkata derby belongs to Kolkata. It needs to be played in Kolkata.
Absolutely. How do you see East Bengal handling these games? It's not getting any easier.
I think Carlos Cuadrat will play his, he will play a style, which is a wait and watch and defensive approach. Today it's worked for him. Let's be clear about that. It's worked for him and for the team. It is how well can you get Felicio Forbes Brown and how well can you get Victor Vasquez to play, and how quickly can you get Saul Crespo back? I think that's the other question, because Saul Crespo was for East Bengal, one of those, key
सर
elements of that defensive unit.
एक सर मैं आपसे जानना चाहता था, ये पिछले 2 मैच से जो टैक्टिक्स दिख रही है कार्लोस कुदरत की, यूजिंग ए फेलिक्स ब्राउन, क्लिंटन सिल्वा एंड विक्टर वास्केस, मेरे को नहीं लगता कि वो उतना इम्पैक्ट डाल पा रहे हैं जो मतलब ये तीनों को साथ में खिलाने से आएगा. व्हाट डू यू थिंक कि या तो क्लिंटन सिल्वा या फिर आपका फेलिक्स ब्राउन, दोनों में से एक खेलना चाहिए?
I
बिकॉज
think
जब
you play differently, because you're playing Felicio Brown is the clear number 9. He's the lone man up front. Clayton becomes more of a 10, and you saw especially in the first half that Clayton was dropping back and sometimes was actually on the line with Shovik, right? So for again, the point is, at the moment, is you have lost Pardo, you have lost Saul Crespo, you don't have Borja Herrera, so therefore you had to change. And if you ask about the quality of the foreigners, again, Victor Vasquez, distinguished career, 37-year-old, the La Masia boy, taking time. Felicio Brown, also taking his time to settle in, unlike others. So that's also right, because it's East Bengal at the moment are a better cup side than a league side. I think that's the other thing to me, right? You've seen that in the Duran Cup, you've seen that in the Super Cup. This season, this team is better in those competitions than they have been in the ISL.
Absolutely, fair enough. And yeah, Hiren said that a few times as well. So absolutely, I think they are a better cup side this time out. Apparently, dressing room atmosphere isn't great. Have you guys heard anything about this? And it's probably why Crivellaro's mentality has. I mean, he doesn't. He's
I
not
mean
showing.
that there is a problem in the dressing room. We could see after the game how Devjit and Connor Shields were talking to each other, right? I mean, you can have a conversation, but you don't do it in the public view on the field. You keep that inside the dressing room and have that argument. So to me is the team is not playing. As we said, Hiren said, I said, no, they're not playing like a Owen Coyle side. That is, I think, the biggest problem. And then Owen Coyle is, I think, a very demanding coach from you. And I think this team is not really in the position to deliver what the coach wants from them.
एक चीज आई थिंक सर, ये तो क्लियरली फैक्ट है, जो मतलब ड्रेसिंग रूम का क्या है वो हमको पता नहीं, बट समथिंग इज ऑफ एंड दैट इज द मेन इशू, बिकॉज जैसे सर ने बोला, ये टीम की तरह दिख नहीं रही है. अदरवाइज चाहे कैसे भी मतलब प्लेयर इतना तो मतलब ये क्या बोलते कि ऐसा नहीं कर सकते, थोड़ा सा तो बेटर आपको चाहे स्ट्रक्चर देखने को मिलता है, चाहे वो थोड़ा सा कमिटमेंट कुछ भी देखने को मिलता है, बट इट्स नॉट लुकिंग लाइक एट द मोमेंट द वन कोल साइड. That's clearly visible, and I think that the on-field, off-field, something is missing, and that's clearly affecting the team. That's 100% for sure.
Quality, quality, simple quality. This team is not as good as teams have been. I mean, Rafael Crivellaro has been an exceptional player for this club. He had an exceptional Greg Stewart when he was at Jamshedpur. And that is what is missing. I think they need one real creative quality midfield player who can create chances for their strike force, because the strikers are there. Jordan Murray has scored goals in this league. Connor Shields has scored goals before he came to India. Even, on their day, Rahim Ali or a Farooq Chaudhary can be dangerous with chances. If they're going to score is a different question. So this number 10, or an 8 is missing with the quality to create the chances for the strikers. That's what is missing mainly for the team, because the defensive unit is not bad. The defensive unit is actually quite good. Despite also, I mean, of course, you have again Akash Sangwan is a good quality ISL left back. About Ankit Mukherjee and Satak Gulai, we can have our discussions, right? But it's not that bad a team. It's just that the mix is not right.
Yeah,
right.
They're saying that they need a creative midfielder, which is fair enough. But Hiren, coming to East Bengal again, you think Vishnu is now pushing for a starting place? Couple of impressive performances from him so far.
First of all, I think Ankit bhai, thank you very much for appreciation.
Yeah.
for our work and keep supporting by. I think P. Vishnu, I would rather use him as a, you can say, key super sub. I think the way he is using, or maybe in the first half of season, he couple of time he uses Nanda and uh, क्या बोलते हैं कि PV Vishnu in each half. So I think that can be also done. But I think Nanda,
You have
Clinton Silva, and
forgotten
Noremas.
you have
Mahesh.
forgotten the main name, na? The number
Acha,
84. You've forgotten of our friend.
84.
Huh? East
Oh,
Bengal
ho,
ke
ho,
84.
ho. Yes, yes, yes.
uh,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Shayan Banerjee also is
But
in the
I,
mix, na? So
yes,
I think they've got
makes.
two of them, right? They've got two of these young boys. But he subbed them off also, no? So both Shayan and Vishnu and it's still too raw. To me, is one day, yeah, they can come in and make an impact. And you've had these matches where again, I think it was in a Super Cup, right, where Vishnu came on and he subbed him off, and then Shahan Shawkat came on for him, right? So it's for East Bengal, but yeah, at the end of the day, you see the dependence is on Nanda and Mahesh besides Clayton to deliver. Those are the three important men, and I have a feeling if you look at Mahesh at the moment, he's played too much of football in the recent weeks and months. I think that
Hmm.
too much of football is getting into him, and um, I mean he's been playing non-stop since last year in March, since he first played for India in the Tri Nation, right? He's been non-stop
Hmm.
after that. So yeah, but again at East Bengal, you can't give Mahesh a break because he is one of the most creative players that they have, one of the most creative players that we have as India.
Hmm. मनीता गौरंग भाई, हाँ भाई, कॉन्ग्रेचुलेशन भाई। चाहिए एंजॉय कीजिए भाई मैच। एंड रोनाल्डो को देखिए भाई, जैसे ग्रेट अपॉर्चुनिटी।
Shahid, that's a good. Yes, I think he has. And it's we've seen it with a
चांगते का
number
भी
of
सर आपको
players.
नहीं लगता सर? सर
Ah, no,
आई वांट टू
too much
एड।
of football. Too much of football. I feel
हाँ।
there are other players where you feel, um, again, players who used to be criticized. Raul Beke playing his standard, right? Vikram seems to have grown in the last few weeks. You see, thought Vibin, for example, had a difficult first half, but played much better in that second half for the Blasters yesterday, right? So we have some of the players, or even as long as you were on yesterday, Raul and Borges, Lenny Rodriguez the day before, even our experienced midfielders. So yeah, but it's part and parcel of the game, right? Because we talk about consistency and form, and yeah, for an Indian player, sometimes it's difficult because with all the travel, with this, that, everything, so many matches, yeah, it's gonna be tougher for our boys to stay fit.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, yeah, we are not used to playing such long seasons and hope,
Mm.
yeah, slowly but surely. We've spoken about it before on the podcast that we can't expect a blown up league suddenly and expect the players to play sort of 40 league games in a season or whatever. I mean, like 30 odd league games in a season. You take it slow and steady. 22 league games right now, get it to 25 slowly, then 27. And that's how we move. Um, yeah, Hiren, you guys wanted to discuss the I League race? Hiren, what do you make of the I League
I,
race right now?
I think it's a very very interesting. When the first half of the season ended, everyone thinking that Mohammad Anesi is a clear cut winner for this season. But the way Srinidhi and Gokulam Kerala bounced back, I think in this second half is incredible to see. Gokulam won six back-to-back matches. So yeah, last match they won against Churchill brother. Srinidhi Deccan beat Namdhari, and the next Mohammedan's two matches, as sir mentioned yesterday, against Srinidhi and Gokulam. So I think this race also is quite interesting because lots of focus has been not given, but I think I don't see it's a straightforward for Mohammedan SC because I think Srinidhi and Gokulam also has a capabilities, players, everything. They can also play, and I think Gokulam Kerala won the back-to-back I leagues. Srinidhi last season also missed by. They are also in a race with Punjab FC. So I think both the teams are capable of to do something like that. So I think it will be interesting. I think the three-way fight in the I League is also interesting to watch.
Yeah, I know. Who would you favor out of the three?
If you'd asked me 2 weeks ago, I would have said Mohammedan Sporting, hands down, right? And last season we had Trinity, were actually sort of on the way of winning the title, but then they dropped somehow mid-season, and then Round Glass Punjab picked up. You
Hmm.
know, and to me is Sharad is saying it. Um, they look like bottlers at the moment. I think they're under a lot of pressure, and even against the lower ranked teams, they've not been that good. And again, Gokulam 6 on the trot, Srinidhi 4 wins in a row. Um, Gokulan has picked up some injuries, of course, as well again. But this is like the ISL Shield race. It's very difficult to call. I think one of those three. I think all three deserve it. Let's put it this way. I would love to see all three one day in the ISL. But if I yeah, it's difficult to say. It's very difficult to say. I would love to again Mohammedan Sporting adding it again to Kolkata would be good. I don't know what the future of Hyderabad holds. So maybe for Hyderabad football, it would be good to get Srinidhi in there, Gokulam in there for a Kerala. Again, there are different reasons for having those three teams in the ISL, right? So all of them bring different values to the league. So I would hope someday that all three maybe could play in the ISL down the road. And so therefore, yeah, it's a very yeah, very, very interesting, very crazy race because again, Mohammedan Sporting was so consistent at the start of the season. A little bit similar to what Goa and Kerala were, right? And so from that perspective, we're in for a very, very interesting race.
Yeah,
Now,
Navneet saying
now,
that.
Navneet Narayan Baika, yes, and there are a couple of rivalry are also stepping up in the I League also. So that's also interesting one because your second
They
division
have
also
been.
must
They
be.
have been. I mean, Mohammedan and Gokulam have been having a rivalry now for 3-4 years. I remember 2 years ago in the Bubble League, the last match that Gokulam won to win the title against
नहीं नहीं
Mohammedan
sir,
in Kolkata.
नहीं, they are talking about the Intercasti Mohammedan and Intercasti Real Kashmir. The way this rivalry has been set up.
See,
So
if
I
that
think
is a rivalry or if that's something that is sort of an orchestrated rivalry, I don't know, right? I talk about the real rivalries on the pitch for the title, and to me, that's Gokulam Mohammedan has been a rivalry in the last 3-4 years. Again, 2 years ago, I myself was part of the team which did the commentary for the final I League match and the Salt Lake incredible game, where Gokulam really bossed, and so therefore, yeah, I mean those top three are there, and again the rest you've got the northeastern derbies. Interkashi brings a new angle to the whole thing into this league. So therefore, yeah, it's good. The only worrying part is the two Manipuri clubs at the bottom of the table. That is I think worrying. I think at the moment it looks like very difficult for them to stay. Churchill brothers are also in danger. And will be interesting to see who actually gets promoted from I League 2. So yeah,
Mm,
interesting scenario.
yeah. How many
एक
clubs
ही
are?
रिधिया
Yeah,
एक ही
yeah.
आई थिंक अभी तो एक है बट
No,
नेवर
two.
नो फिर आगे
No,
क्या.
sorry, from I
अच्छा
League to ISL 2, from I
Yeah.
League 2 to I League is two promoted and two relegated.
Yep.
अच्छा आई लीग से आईएसएल में दो करने वाले हैं इसमें.
No, I
Yeah.
League से ISL 1.
वन हाँ
I
एग्जैक्टली.
League 2 से because I was talking about the bottom. I League 2
Yeah.
से I League is 1.
वन.
Yeah. For the sake of Hyderabad football, Srinidhi, can you think there's something that can be done here?
Makes for them no sense. Why would you spend money? I mean, they should rather invest the money into their own infrastructure, into their academy and other things that they're doing. I think Srinidhi has done a lot of things right. You know, they're building a club. Of course, people will say it's a little further out from Hyderabad, but again, they've built their own infrastructure, so that's great to see. So I would think that it makes more sense to try and focus on building what they're building at the moment rather than trying to pick up another franchise. For the ISL, it makes sense to potentially invite Srinidhi to come in. But yeah, for me, it makes no sense, Navneet, to buy the franchise.
Uh, but guys, of course, we've had sort of these days during the week where there's no ISL action, but it's one of those weeks where there are games every day. And yeah, tomorrow a club that we are actually not talking about because they haven't played in a while is Punjab FC.
Yes,
And if you
exactly.
actually look at the table, there a couple of wins and Punjab are they'll jump everyone. They'll go to sixth if they can win their two games in hand. So, Hiren, tomorrow is Hyderabad Punjab, and they have the opportunity to do exactly that. At least start their journey towards that sixth place. It's a struggling Hyderabad side, as in struggling for results and struggling for goals. But the performances have been there. Just unfortunate for Hyderabad, but it's an opportunity for Punjab FC to pick up 3 points. You think they can get the job done tomorrow?
Sometime rest is beneficial. Sometimes it's you can say ki low, you can say कि break your momentum. So for Punjab FC, I think it will be interesting कि एक जो जैसे आपने बोला कि पिछले एक वीक में वो खेले नहीं है. So उस sense में I think it will be interesting how they are going to perform against Hyderabad. But it will be not easy match. Definitely 100% because हैदराबाद में जिस तरह की परफॉर्मेंस दे रहे हैं, चाहे सामने हमने लास्ट मैच देखा बेंगलुरु के सामने, इससे पहले भी they have always been in a game. It's not like कि one sided game हो रहा है. So I think Punjab FC need to कैसे कि perform really well to get the crucial 3 point. And I think उनके लिए भी ये important match है, just as Chennaiyin FC जैसे आज था. I think कि कहीं ना कहीं वो एक momentum उनको भी चाहिए. They have some positives. मेहदी तला, आपके विल्मार जॉर्डन एंड लुका मैजिसन जिस तरह से फ्रंट लाइन में परफॉर्मेंस दे रहे हैं, that's a big boost for them. And that's why I think definitely for me they are the consecutive favorite for this match. But I think Hyderabad FC can surprise them, so they need to be on point. Otherwise, they will might be beaten by Hyderabad.
Yeah, Sharad making the point that he wants Hyderabad to win. They have been working hard and they have put in some impressive performances. I want Hyderabad to win as well, not only for the top six race and so that it benefits BFC, but I think from a footballing perspective, I don't think you want to see a team go the entire season without a win. Anava, you think they can get something out of this game?
Hyderabad have been close now for 3-4 matches for getting potentially a result. That's the danger, of course, for them. But the question is, how dangerous will be the attacking threat of the Punjab front three of Mehdi Talal, Luka Machin, and Wilmer Jordan? I think, can they contain them? That's going to be the question, I think. And for Punjab, if you want to get into the top six, tomorrow is a must win. Tomorrow is a must win. Then you sort of leapfrog Chennaiyin, and you go into 10th. You are 3 points behind Jamshedpur, and anything is possible. And let's see where they go. It's a big match. It's a big match for both sides, I think, in the sense of because for the Hyderabad boys, it's about experience. And again, yes, I think all of them have in some sort of way, shown, we would have spoken most probably about Abdul Rabe at the start, but now some of the other kids have, especially those Mizo boys who I saw an appreciation post yesterday by someone, forgot all the names, that he was saying, these are all products of the Mizoram Football Association, Tata Trust, Center of Excellence. So these are all column toll products, like in the past, Gurpreet, Sandesh has been part of that program, Pritam Kotal, Probit Das, Pranoy Haldar, JJ, about the fat Mizo striker that someone is talking, or Malswam Fela, all of them have been part of that. Chunga Hamar, that was the name. Chunga Hamar most probably is the most standout of them, but Chunga Hamar, decision making needs to be better. He could have scored quite a few number of goals in the last few matches. Decision making needs to be better. And I compliment Thangboy Singto, as a coach who's stayed with the club, who has been working with these players at the academy. So therefore, I think, that's a good sign.
Yeah. Hiren, who's impressed you among the Hyderabad lot?
Definitely Chunga Hamar is one of the standout. Abdul Rabi, Makhan Chote, I think these are all the players. I think Zothan Puya, Mark Zothan Puya, is everyone looking really good and getting a, you can say ki, valuable experience and playing in ISL. Otherwise, if their first team was available, Hyderabad's, all the foreigners and everyone, then might be this player that didn't get that much of time. So I think they have a very good blessing these guys situation where they can showcase their talent and maybe next season in some other clubs, they will you can say get transfers too. So I think definitely Chungamar is one of them.
But one thing I want to add to what Hiren says, the boys need to be smart in where I go. Where will I get playing time? This season, of course, um, you're getting playing time because the club is literally has collapsed to a certain level that the foreigners have all left and your star players have all left. That's why you are playing. You're not playing because you're better than anyone. That also has to be said, right? That's also part of a reality. This is sort of indirectly sort of an Indian Arrows project in the ISL now. So the boys need to be smart. They need to be very, very smart into where do I go, because the big offers will come in the summer, certainly for a number of them. The Chungamars, the Rabes, the Alex Sajis, all these guys, there will be a market. Silo and all these guys, there will be a market for them, right? Or Mark Zo, right? Mark Zo was already playing actually well while the foreigners and the star players were still there at the start of the season. So he's one of those. And that's going to be the question again. And we speak a lot about this, right? That when you sign for a club, you have to be smart for whom you're signing. Don't just run after the money, because that is the challenge I feel that these boys have, right? Again, I do understand that money is a crucial factor, but you have to try and find the right club where you're going to get playing time.
Yeah, absolutely. So predictions, guys, for tomorrow?
2-1 to PFC. 2-1 to Punjab FC.
Punjab, okay. Hiren. Sorry, Anil.
0-2 for Punjab.
Okay, so interesting. I think the firepower is a little too much from this Punjab team, and probably in the end, it'll prove to be the difference. Just before we leave, let's just take these questions. Javed, saying with the club, it is a Spanish thing to stay at clubs for longer periods. Is it a Spanish thing to stay at clubs for long periods?
I mean, he is Brazilian, so
Yeah.
but the commitment is there from these guys, right? I mean, you've seen a number of players who've now played multiple years. I mean, even Piri played a long time at 80K, then again went to Jamshedpur, has come back now, is playing at Mumbai, and again Piri needed some time, but you see what a quality defender the guy is, right? So these guys who've stayed for longer periods in India, even some of the players like in Eli Sabia is performing at Srinidhi, right? I think who's performed at Jamshedpur and at Chennaiyin in the past. So there are these players who come to India, who are committed, and who play for a long time. So that's
तुषार भाई तुषार भाई इस सीजन का जो आईएसएल है वो भाई काफी थ्रिलर है, सो मजा तो आ रहा है भाई, वो तो 100% भाई सही। त्रंबक बनर्जी भाई, हमने भाई कल उसके रिगार्डिंग बात की थी, कार्लोस की रिक्वेस्ट की, इट्स अ एक्सक्यूज थिंग।
For me, it's a very dangerous thing to do, because the way he has, for me, it's just deflecting blame, because if he had lost today, you would have said, oh, you know what, it's the referee's fault. And if you listen to it, I mean, if the footage is used by the AFF against him, you don't know football, you don't know anything and all that. That's arrogant in a way. And your team has your team, any team, any I could list you things of Punjab FC, from Hyderabad, from Jamshedpur, from Mumbai City, that they say referee did a mistake here and there. But the question is, how are we going to change this? Because with the worst part in all of this is criticism, yes, and you should place it to the AFF. But the press conference is not the platform to do this criticism. This needs to be utilized via the channels of the club. You have a management, talk to your sporting director, speak to your club management and say, listen, you pass on, right, the information to the AFF that you are not happy. No. I'm not saying the referees are above scrutiny, but the point is the way he is abusing referees. To me, is I feel that I think the AFF should suspend him they should suspend him. This is not an Indian football problem. Look at what Guardiola has said. Look at what Klopp has said. Look at what Jose Mourinho said, and they've gotten their fines, either financial penalties
suspend,
or they've been suspended.
Sure, exactly.
suspended.
So
Yes.
the referees are not above scrutiny, but the referees are the key element of that. You have to have respect for referees, and he's talking in a way that he does not have respect for referees because he thinks he's something better than the referees.
Yeah.
Sorry, doesn't
सस्पेंशन
add up.
हाँ
For sure.
टॉप लीग में ऐसा स्टेटमेंट सस्पेंशन आ गया है 100%.
Exactly. Suspension, at least a fine, for sure.
You are
नहीं सस्पेंशन नहीं
justifying
होता.
Ivan Vukovanovic 10-match suspension for what he did last season. Are you serious?
Yeah.
No, Soren, every team has lost points on that.
Yeah, it's a normal thing in football.
The Kerala Blasters have been shouting about wrong refereeing for a long time. Yesterday they need to thank the referee that he didn't give the third goal of Noda Sadui. Then otherwise this whole story might have not happened that everyone is talking about today. Right?
नहीं सर,
are you going to accept as an East Bengal fan that in the final, Borja Herrera, that he faked a foul, there was no contact, that he got a penalty, a key penalty, and Murtada Fall got sent off a little late because of that? So it has happened to every team. So that's not a point of discussion. Don't say that you are the only victim in all of this. Every club is suffering. Yeah.
Exactly, absolutely.
And adding VR.
वो तो 100%
ask Jurgen Klopp. What did Jurgen Klopp say yesterday about VR? Ask in Germany. VR. Look at the Real Madrid match the other day against, I think it was Granada, where 3 decisions went for Real Madrid. Everyone says, listen, the decisions wrong. VR will not, the discussions will move. Discussions will not go away. Or Borussia Dortmund yesterday saying, listen, was it an intentional handball or not? And you see the handball going away. And the other day, Mats Hummels does, we have a discussion in the Champions League. Dortmund against Eindhoven, a trailing leg. Mats Hummels touches the ball and in the follow-through touches the player and it's given as a penalty by the referee and by VR. So we have a refereeing problem. Let's not we don't need to talk about it because it's a fact. Come up with solutions. Don't make the matter worse. You're making the matter worse because you're instigating people. As you guys are fighting for a coach who's instigating people. Sorry, not done for me. And I've said that from the start. It doesn't matter which club, which coaches. This is not the way. You have to show a little bit of minimum respect. Again, sorry, you come up with a penalty that was not given. But are you going to talk about the situation where you got a penalty? See?
Penalty.
You are being selective. You are being selective.
That's the issue.
That is your issue. You pick the situations which suits you. Your coach is picking the situation. Let's talk about his tactics. Did he deserve the 3 points today with his tactics? No, he didn't. Because there is no tactics. Just wait and see and hope something happens for you. That is not tactics. If you can't read through it, sorry, that is then your problem. And I've said it from the start. This is something that BFC, ask Rahul, that BFC fans will tell you about it.
Yeah, for sure. I think I completely agree. And we've said it from the beginning, Carlos Kodar, we've seen this uninspiring style of football. It's that's what I think as fans you should probably be talking about and addressing. And I mean, it's the same for any fan. I think even for us BFC fans, last season, Grayson, he's getting the results, but were we happy with football? I don't think we were. And I think you've got to question after a point what your coach is doing and what your club is trying to do.
नहीं राहुल,
please get on with it, man.
नहीं सिंपल सी बात ये है कि आपके फेवर में जब डिसीजन नहीं जाए तब आप प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस में आके बोलते हो कि ये सारी चीजें रेफरी की वजह से हुई है. आपके फेवर में जब डिसीजन जाए तब आप बोलते हो कि वी प्लेड वेल, तब आप रेफरी की अप्रिशिएट नहीं कर सकते. सेनगुप्ता भाई, रिस्पेक्ट अर्न करने की बात तो साइड में रख दीजिए. सिर्फ आप इतना बता दीजिए कि जब उसने रेफरी को कल जैसे ब्लेम किया सारी चीजों के लिए, लास्ट 3-4 मैचेस उसकी वजह से आ रहे, तो आप इस सीजन हमने देखा है कि काफी सारे मैचेस में ईस्ट बंगाल को भी फेवर किया है रेफरी ने. तो उस मैच में तो हमने कभी स्टेटमेंट नहीं देखा उसके बाद कि भाई वी वन टुडे बाय रेफरीज डिसीजन इन आवर फेवर. तो आप एक आपको जब मन पड़े तो आपके क्या बोलते कि आपके ऊपर क्वेश्चन आए, जैसे सर ने बोला कि टेक्निकली आप जब लगातार 2-3 मैच हारते हो और आपके ऊपर क्वेश्चन आने लगे तब आप रेफरी का एक्सक्यूज लेके आ जाते हो. दैट इज नॉट द राइट थिंग. अब मैं ये नहीं बोल रहा कि रेफरी के बारे में आप मत बोलिए, बट जब आपको फेवर बोले करे तब आप बोलना चाहिए ना. जब नहीं करे तब भी बोलना चाहिए. अगर वो तब ऐसा बोलोगे तो आपका समझ में आएगा कि हाँ भाई यू आर अ फेयर इनफ. बट जब आपकी बात आती है और वो बोल रहे कि रेफरी क्या बोलते हैं कि कोचेस की जॉब यहाँ पे जाती है अगर अच्छा नहीं करते, बट रेफरी इज कंटिन्यूइंग इन इंडिया. सो you can say कि wind up
It's
because of
unacceptable. It doesn't
हाँ,
matter who the coach is anywhere in the world. What he did at the press
all right,
conference yesterday is
Yeah.
not acceptable.
हाँ,
And the AFF
acceptable.
needs to suspend him. Sorry to say that. It's the same thing as I said last season with Vukovic. You don't walk off with your team. And the question is, was the decision right or wrong? In my opinion, still the decision was right. But even if the decision is wrong, do you walk off a field?
Yeah, absolutely not.
And he was suspended 10 matches. He should be happy that he only got suspended 10 matches.
Yeah.
If he did it anywhere in Europe, yeah, then he would have been banned for a year. So these coaches are getting a lot of leeway in what they're saying.
सरिन गुप्ता भाई जो क्रिटिसाइज करना चाहिए,
there is a way of criticizing it. It is the platform of a press conference is not. And if you don't understand it, it is actually, sorry to say, that's your problem, because you're not willing to understand of how the football system works. I can see that because I've worked in the system. If my coach said it, I would have had a meeting immediately after the press conference, told my coach, what the hell are you doing? Are you know?
नहीं सर, आई थिंक मैंने इस सीजन अगर आप देखें बारसा की काफी ऐसी प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस जावी की देखी कि जहाँ पे जर्नलिस्ट ऐसे क्वेश्चन पूछते हैं, पर जावी ऑलवेज से कि आई डोंट स्पीक टू मच, मैं रेफरी के बारे में ज्यादा बोल नहीं सकता.
And that the Barca president does.
हाँ,
the Barca president does it, which is also wrong, right? After that VR thing, he said, listen, the VR has been made in Spain because it's for Real Madrid.
नहीं मैं ये कहना
how are the
कि
referees
आप
getting leeway? How can you judge that the referees are getting a leeway? How can you judge that? Right? This is part of the problem what we have in Indian football. Everybody understands everything and doesn't even have a clue about what he's talking about. Sorry to say that. Right? If you're it's not even criticizing, he's criticizing the whole system. Then why are you here? It's the same thing as we say with our national team coach. If you're not happy with the system, no one's forcing you to be here. Go where the system is more suitable to your requirements. That's the problem. That the refereeing is a problem, everybody knows. But have you given one idea of a solution to it? Right? No. Yeah. That's part of the problem. We have to accept that there are certain things. Are we talking about how good our coaches are? So, exactly, Soren, that is not the thing. But there is a means and ways of addressing these problems.
Yeah. Yeah, nobody's saying it should be done for the good. Yeah,
and this is, and you do it, right? And it's not a thing of yesterday. And as East Bengal, you want to go back in history, how many times East Bengal has been favored by referees in tournaments to win tournaments? The same thing applies to a Mohun Bagan or a Mohammedan Sporting. So, sorry, wake up to reality. I mean, sorry, that it's, and this is not the way to do it. This to me is not the way to do it. He gave no solutions. No realistic solutions. See, if you're not willing to accept that he's done a mistake, then it's very, very difficult to have this conversation or discussion about the thing. Because it is, again, as someone who's run a club, if he was my coach, I would have a hard word with him after that and tell him, my friend, not the way to do it. What are the problems? Note it down. Video analyst, give me the clippings. Send it to the AFF. That's the only way to do it. You do it once in a while, and you're not doing it persistently. You don't do it every week. And all these coaches, if you look at the coaches who've been doing this, especially this season, it's always when they do it up when they lose. They're not, as I said, they don't. It's Ivan Vukovic yesterday going to say, you know what, we were very lucky that Noah Sadui's goal didn't stand. He's not going to do it. That again, that's your judgment. So you think you know better. That's the problem, right? That is the problem. That we will clone some referees from abroad and then they'll bring it here. Listen, in the German league, the people are not happy with the refereeing. The Premier League people are not happy with the refereeing. The Spaniards are not happy with the refereeing. About Champions League refereeing, we are not going to be talking at all because the refereeing is different than in your local league. See, you know everything. So that what's the point? Sorry, guys. I tried to explain it, but if people are willing to think that they know stuff, then to ho gaya. What's the point of discussion? This proves a point to me that people think they know everything without knowing the facts, and that is Indian football. Indian football's biggest problem is everybody knows everything what's happening. People out there don't even know 2% of what's happening in Indian football. That is the real reality. If you work in Indian football, you know what is happening in Indian football. What are the real problems of Indian football? If you think that the refereeing is our biggest problem, then welcome to this world. Because that is Indian football's, it's a huge problem. But compared to the other problems that Indian football at the moment has, it's actually a very, very small problem. It might be a huge problem for Kalis Kurdar and for East Bengal. But for the Indian football context of what's happening or what's not happening, it's a small problem.
Yeah. I mean, on that note, guys, I think refereeing has been an issue. We've discussed. It's not like we're brushing it under the carpet. Of course, we're also unhappy with the
हमसे
standards.
राहुल रेफरी के बारे में हमने ही सबसे ज्यादा बात की है.
Exactly, exactly.
ये पूरे सीजन में उठा के देख लीजिए. We have talked enough about the solution, about the problem, about the criticism, everything. So it's not
Exactly.
we have to justify regarding that. We are never done. You can
We talk most honestly and openly about these things. Ask others if what they're talking or what they're doing. It's like the same thing.
Whoever watching from the starting,
the other day. Today again, someone has mentioned about the fat Mizo striker, right? And it's a good example of someone that people don't even know who plays Indian football. You don't even know the history of the guy. That he's one of the top scorers in the Mizoram Premier League. That he won his team the title, right? You want to talk about Indian football? Let's talk about Indian football, guys. You seem to know everything. That is my problem, guys. There is so much happening behind the scenes, which are issues, which are problems, which the outside world doesn't know. That is the problem.
Yeah. Exactly. Just want to tell you guys, we've discussed it, but again, I don't think none of us think it's okay to be slamming referees left, right, and center, especially in press conferences and the way Carlos Cuadra did. So we've seen it in European club cases. We've seen managers get fined, suspended for saying these things, and why should that not apply to an Indian context? It makes no sense. But yeah, guys, on that note, tomorrow
I think Navneet says a very important thing. I think what Nikhil did on Saturday was very good, because these interaction platforms are important. But the point is also and you see how football is, right? On Saturday, it was all bad for the Blasters. After the first half, everything seemed bad on Sunday evening, right? They turn things around and suddenly everything is okay again. And this is why we also love, all of us, football.
Yeah.
Because it is that instant you can change things. And this should be the focus. This should be the focus. And I think it's an interesting scenario where said top 5 or 6th place race is so interesting because the possibilities are there.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, and it's heating up and it's getting very close. Tomorrow, Punjab versus Hyderabad. We'll be back to talk about that like always. And everybody, thanks for joining in the chat. Like and share these videos. Subscribe to all the channels. Sports Khabri, Kirisari, and Arun Foot. Yeah, we'll be back.
Good night, guys.
Good night.